I feel this might be the worst podcast so far. I'm going to be honest. I'm worried about it.
In terms of, like, the worst reviewed? Or what do you mean?
Oh, no. Well, the worst reviewed are the ones that get, like, no views at all. But I just mean, like... Oh. He got... I heard his feeling so bad he left. Spyro 2 sucks. Bloop. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Come back, Christian.
Hello? Are you guys still there? Good morning, good evening, and good night, Poke Pals.
Oh, man.
Welcome to the Gameboys podcast. And today we are returning with an oldie but a goodie sequel to at least my childhood. Spyro Ripto's Rage.
Heck yazzle.
First off, I guess we should remind everybody who we are, in case they haven't listened in a while, or if they're just now discovering us. I am Christian.
I am Dolan.
And I'm Austin.
Maybe you've listened to our Christmas episode at this point, if I finish it. Who knows?
If you did, tell us in the comments. But, so yeah, we are coming to talk about Spyro 2, Ripto's Rage. But I wanted to start off with a question because this was one of my favorite games when I was growing up as a child. So, anyone listening, and for both of you guys, I ask, what was your favorite game, not now, but when you were a kid? And is it still your favorite game now? I know we kind of already covered this, but in case they haven't seen the Christmas episode. Dolan, do you want to go first?
Oh, fine. I'm going to give two answers because one was covered on the Christmas, and I'll be pretty brief with that, and then I'll give a slightly longer answer. Favorite game for, until my teenage years at least, was Sonic Adventure, which, spoilers, did make it into my top 5, I think. Yeah, it did. And so, it's not the number one. It has... The age has taken a couple hits at it. It's actually not true. I still think it's as good as I thought it was then. I just think a couple games that are better I have played since then. I still love it. I just think I've found more fun stuff. So yeah, love that. To be a little bit more interesting with what you asked, though, I will throw out that as a young, maybe not young, but a teenager, I loved a game called Mega Man X6, which is universally hated by everyone, and I thought it was a great time, and people were just stupid and couldn't see what they were missing. And then I replayed it a couple years ago, and it's bad. I don't know why I thought it was good. So, like, there's the two answers. Like, yeah, I've played a game, and it's like, maybe Sonic isn't still my favorite. Still love it, though. It's still top 5. And then this game's like, I love this. This is, like, in my top 20 games. And then I played it again, and I was like, this is, like, a bad game. Like, I don't know what I was smoking. I don't know why I thought it was good, but it's just not even almost. So I've been on both sides of the spectrum.
All right. To answer your question, I first have a question. At what age do you consider not being a kid anymore?
Let's just say before you were a teenager, like before the age of 12.
11.
Yeah, 11.
Before 12? Nice.
11 or earlier. Nice.
Well, I'll toss out. What was it before Knights?
Sonic Adventure.
Hey, you know, king of being a child's favorite game.
I think it was both it was either my first or second video game ever, and then held the favorite spot until Knights of the Old Republic.
Nice.
Or Halo. I don't know which one came first. I think I played Knights of the Republic before I was allowed to play Halo.
Nice.
Halo has a scary M on it, so.
There you go. Yeah, for me, as I said, Spyro was one of my favorite games as a kid, and it's not my favorite game now, but it's still, as we said in the Christmas episode, still in my tops. But
I better release this during Christmas, or everyone's gonna be like, "What's the Christmas episode?" I don't understand.
we'll just label it as the Christmas episode in the title, even if it comes out in March. Let's just do that. That way they'll know. Oh, the Christmas episode.
That's so funny.
Oh man. But
oh man. Yeah.
So yeah, for this game we are jumping back into the beloved Purple Dragon Spyro, and this game comes with some new features that weren't included in the first one.
Yeah.
So this is kind of delving a little bit into developed history, but we'll cover it a little more thoroughly here in a minute. But a few of the added features of this game, you learn some abilities, like there's the climbing. You get to learn how to head bash, or I think some people have referred to it as ground pound. But so there's those added features in there. You get, at one point when you very first start the game, you don't know how to swim and you have to learn. And this game also features a lot more mini-game side missions as opposed to the first, which definitely adds variety to the game. And I know there are some mixed feelings, especially because I can see faces right now.
That's why we have the camera on.
So I guess before we delve too far into kind of the rest of the development history and synopsis of the game, what are some just initial brief overview thoughts of this game, starting with Austin?
Okay, so to be honest, when I first started playing the game, it was an okay experience. It was pretty decent. I did start enjoying some of the new additions to some of the mechanics. The little extra hop you get in flight is very helpful for those moments when you're just all the time in the first game and I just barely didn't make it high enough. That button's a lifesaver. I will have to say the swimming was cool until I realized it's force inverted controls, and then I despised the swimming mechanics the entire time. Because even the flying lets you change like if it's inverted or not, but for swimming I just kept, every time I wanted to go up when I started swimming I just go down and vice versa, and I just was completely discombobulated in the water. Don't know why they would force that control scheme, but whatever. So I hated all the water levels, or the water level. Yeah, overall was having a good time until I reached towards the end and was stuck because I had to go back and replay all the mini games that I despised.
You didn't like any of the mini games, or just the ones you had to replay the ones you didn't like?
I would say a good 70% of them were I did not enjoy playing the mini games.
Man.
That's a brief overview. I'm sure we'll get specific later.
Yeah, we'll circle back to this. Dolan, what were your thoughts on that?
All right. I actually put my notes. I love that the start of my notes that I sent to y'all is, okay, I have feelings. So my initial thing was that, if you'll recall from the first episode, the first thing I did was I played through Spyro 1 twice. Once on the PS1 and once the Reignited. Well, I say on the PS1. They were both on my Steam Deck. But, PS1 version, Reignited version. And I had I had a lot less fun on the PS1 version. The Reignited version really clicked with me, and I got in a flow, and I really dug it. So I had a little bit of a similar experience, but I cut to the chase because I started playing the PS1 version and it wasn't clicking again. And I went, I'm just going to skip to Reignited. I know, whatever, call me a filthy casual or a Zoomer, but I was just having more fun with that. And initial impressions were, this is great. Right off, kind of overview, like I said, we'll dig into the details, but you mentioned some of the new moves. Little flutter hop, freaking love that thing. That's great. Platforming is infinitely more smooth and it fixes so many little hitches. It is amazing how much that little move actually makes a big change. I thought the swimming was fun. We're gonna get into some details, but one of the first things I got was, I'm sorry, Alistair, I know you did. It didn't bug me, and I thought it was a really interesting way to add to his moveset without adding a lot of complexity. But it really does feel like a meaningful upgrade. Suddenly, there's like this whole other third of the game you could get to. That really hit me in a way that I really liked. Yeah. And then the other thing I noticed, this is early on, and again, was that I loved that each like little level had a lot more variety to it, actually. Like, it's got its own little story, its own little inhabitants. I was really shocked at like the amount of unique detail and unique assets in each level, and it really felt like it upped the production value. And so those were probably my initial impressions. I have more as we go that I'd love to get to, but I guess I'll say Spyro 2 makes a crazy good first impression. It just takes everything I liked about Spyro 1 and kind of like adds a little bit to it, at least on first impression. Will that hold through to the end? We'll find out as we go along. We'll talk more about that.
Sounds good. To emphasize your point with just the variety of different worlds and kind of the fun characters and the complexity of just like all the different regions that you get to go to. I really like that about this game, especially considering in the first one there were like, you basically only talked to other dragons that you saved.
Oh yeah.
When in this one you talk to, in the very first level, Glimmer, you talk to all the little like mice kangaroos. I don't know. I don't know what to call them. And then like there's just all of this variety of different kinds of characters all throughout the game, and it just really just adds a lot of character to the world of Avalar. So I'll go through a brief synopsis of the game. So essentially, this is after the aftermath of the first Spyro. Spyro's tired. It's rainy in the Dragon World. He wants to go to Dragon Shores, which is like a theme park essentially with a beach. And so he goes through a portal. And meanwhile, in the world of Avalar, they're trying to summon a dragon because there's this big baddie Ripto who has been transported to their world and taking everything over. And Spyro just happens to be the dragon that they get. So as you're going throughout the game, you go through 3 hub worlds, each with their own unique boss battle, which is another added feature. The additional boss battles
that are actual bosses.
Yeah, the ones that aren't just flame 3 times and go about your way. So they really did a lot with that. So that's another fun feature that they added onto this game. So you go through, you're collecting gems, which are the power source for the portals, and then you're collecting talismans, which help you get further progress through the game. So you're going through all these different worlds, you're seeing all these cool, fun characters, and the characters that are reoccurring for you are, you have the Professor, you have Hunter. The Professor is, I don't know what you would describe him as. He kind of looks mousy.
A little mink thing.
Yeah, like a balding
He's
minx.
a rodent.
Yeah. And then Hunter, who's like a cheetah, but he's not very fast. Alora, she is a fawn, and then the fairy Zoe are basically the characters that repeat as you're going throughout the game. And Moneybags, who is the annoying gem collector that charges you for simple things, like teaching you to swim.
He's the Tom Nook before Tom Nook.
Yes, he is probably Tom Nook's grandfather, when you think about it. So yeah, you're going through this world. You battle Ripto's minions, and then you, at the very end, go through all the worlds and you battle Ripto. And it's this 3-stage battle where you fight him with his scepter, him with on top of a giant robo gulp, and then a giant robo pterodactyl. And then you, I guess you would call it a pterodactyl. I don't know what you would call it. Giant.
No,
robot
yeah, that's
dinosaur.
that's exactly what it is.
So you fight him, you beat him, and then at the end of the game, if you 100%ed all the levels, you get to go in and have free reign of Dragon Shores. So some added mini games. There's a roller coaster mini game and a few others. But yeah, that's a
who all got to Dragon Shores? I'd like to know. Anyone? Austin, did you make it? No? Christian, how about you?
I did not fully 100% everything, so I didn't get to every part of Dragon Shores, but I got to most of it.
Oh, okay. I didn't get to enter Dragon Shores, so I personally, this is a side note, but I personally have never been a big fan of the like raceway flying levels. The flying levels, yeah.
So for the most part, I kind of skip over those because you can get enough orbs to do everything else in all the other worlds.
Well, I don't think you get orbs from the flying levels, only gems, if I remember correctly. Because I skipped every one because I went, oh, these are only gems and I'm not going for 100%. So there's the orbs do not help me, and I didn't do a single one.
You're right. Yeah, so you just get gems.
Yeah.
So you can get all the orbs from all the other levels just through all the additional mini games and searching around the hub worlds. So yeah, that's kind of general idea for those of you who haven't played the game. That's kind of the structure of it and how the game goes about. But I am going to jump into some development history. As soon as I get past these miscellaneous ads that have popped up on my notes. So I'm gonna start off with, this is both development history, also a fun fact. So
yeah,
Spyro 2, Ripto's Rage, as we all know the game, as probably most people listening know the game, but when it was released, it had a different name for the EU.
Oh well, yeah.
Did either of you guys know that?
I don't remember what it was, but I know the Europeans are always renaming Spyro. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know why either, but it was called the Gateway to Glimmer.
Okay.
That's such a minuscule part of the game.
That's way worse.
Yeah. Glimmer is just the first world that you get transported into, and it has nothing to do with the entire rest of the game. So
that's hilarious.
Yeah, I feel like that's a pretty lame name for it.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what they chose.
I mean, yeah.
So, returning to development history, in this game, so kind of development timeline, it was in the conceptual phase in early 1998, and they released a series of demos at various like gaming conventions, like E3 99. Looks like the first demo version of the game was playable, and from what I've seen, there were a lot of changes made between that first demo and kind of the end product. There was a good bit more comparative to the first game. One of the things that they really wanted to focus on was deviating from the let's just collect things to adding mini games and side quests, which we already talked about,
Okay.
so that it didn't just feel like the same game that you just played as Spyro the Dragon, but that there was distinctly more to this game.
Okay.
At least that's what they were going for.
Yeah.
And as they were developing the game, you're always going through a series of different concepts. One thing that made it pretty far in conceptual, but eventually got cut. Allura was not originally a fawn.
Oh.
Does anyone want to guess what kind of mythical creature she was?
No idea.
Dolan?
I know this one. That'd be cheating.
Oh, okay. Well, she originally was a centaur.
Yeah.
There was some kind of an issue. The most detail I could find was just they kept on saying that the second set of legs just didn't look right. They couldn't get it to work well with the character. So
Yeah.
they just kind of cut that half off and made her a fawn. But
That's how you solve all your problems with mythical ladies. Just cut them in half and keep going.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But the other thing about her was her, and in the original game, like her face, it's pretty early PlayStation game quality, so like you can't tell much on her face, but she was modeled after one of the Insomniac employees' friends. It was yeah. I just found like a fun fact saying that Oliver Wade, the character designer, he had a friend that he said he used as the model for her face. But you,
with all 7 polygons?
yes, with all 7 polygons. And
I feel like if I was that friend's wife or girlfriend, or whatever it was, whoever the lady was, I'd be a little insulted. It's like, look at this pile of squares. It is you.
yeah, I don't know if she was flattered or offended by it. A few other just like fun details that they added into the game. So in Summer Forest, if you look closely on the wall of the castle, at one point you can see the name Brian on some of the walls.
Okay.
And
I did not know that.
in Winter Tundra, the final hub, you can see the name Brenda.
Oh.
And these are the names of Oliver Wade, the animator and character designer's children. He found a fun little way to sneak that into the design of the game, which I thought,
that's sweet.
yeah, I thought that was pretty cool to be. I'm sure his kids loved that, just be able to say, hey, that's my name.
Yeah.
And then 2 other things that I thought were interesting about kind of development and hidden kind of cameo fun facts about the game. The name Ripto was actually taken from in Japanese, the name Spyro, just looking at it without reading Japanese, it kind of looks like the English word Ripto. Like they said the characters. I can send you guys a.
Yeah. I'll put it in the chat. The thing, yeah.
But I'll send this to you. But they looked at this and said, "Hey, that kind of looks like Ripto." It is what they said. That's apparently how they came up with the name Ripto. They just looked at it and said, that character looks kind of like an R.
How much do I have to squint? Ripto. I can kind of see it.
You can kind of see it if you like look really hard.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, I just kind of shrugged when I saw that. Exactly. Um, but yeah, that was. I thought that was interesting that they at least apparently used Spyro's name to name this.
Austin just put the Chang. Is this a meme for ants? Give in the chat.
Oh, that's so good.
Oh, that's funny. Those are some fun facts.
Yeah, and then one other that's also kind of a early draft for some characters squeezed in to the game. Do you guys remember the level in which you have to collect these like little light bulb spark plugs and they turn off the electric shields?
Yeah.
In this game?
Yes.
I don't remember. Wait, is that the guy that keeps constantly... There's someone running around constantly taking them out in the fireplace?
No.
Nope. Okay, keep going.
Yeah,
Don't worry about it.
Okay. So in this level, there's multiple of them, but really big yellowish orange character with a giant wrench, and they're accompanied by a small robot.
I did not notice that.
Does that make you think of anybody?
Sneaky. It does.
Another Insomniac game?
Yeah, certain Ratchet and Clank come to mind when you mention that duo.
Mm-hmm. You kind of have to squint to see the similarities, but...
there's a lot of squinting this episode.
Yeah. we're all just squinting and making up these fun facts. No, I'm kidding.
See, this is why we need the camera on the video, so I can just repeatedly zoom in on Austin doing the chain.
I am glad she does not.
Yeah, next season, baby!
But
those are great fun facts, man. Yeah, amazing.
So yeah, there's a few fun facts
Yeah.
for you guys.
Those are great. Yeah.
Yeah, and then also, this is not a fun fact, but just something that I thought was kind of funny, and I'm curious if you guys ran into any glitches while playing the reignited version.
I didn't, that I noticed or remember at least. I'm sure. I think I got hung on something like once or twice, but nothing game breaking.
I think my playthrough was a glitchless playthrough, unlike Spyro 1.
Interesting. In a single playthrough, it wasn't anything devastating to the game. Honestly, it made me laugh more than anything. But I had 3 instances, and these were all before you showed me the new recording feature, so I don't have any evidence of it. But I have 3 instances of I'm running towards an enemy, and then they just kind of shake, T-pose, and then they just slide across the map 3 times.
Man, I wish mine glitched. I might have actually.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. No, I've never seen that.
It happened 3 times, and I was like, "Oh my word!"
The 3 T-posers of the apocalypse.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, dude, that's too funny. I wish you had been able to record it.
Oh,
Maybe I can find some footage on YouTube or something. That's so funny.
yeah.
Oh man, jeez Louise.
And before we jump in further into thoughts, this wasn't in my notes, but I just remembered that I wanted to see if either of you guys noticed this playing throughout the games. So based on kind of the characters' designs and some of the dialogue in a couple levels, did you notice that 2 of the levels you went to are at war with each other, and you end up helping both sides?
I know there's the birds that are very militaristic, and they're fighting like little slug things. I didn't notice where we were helping. I'm trying to remember a level where we were helping the birds against slugs. I don't remember the inverse.
So the birds look different, but they reference traveling to the other world.
Oh,
The birds are at war with the slug people, and you go to the slug people level at one point, and you go to the bird people level at another, and both times you're essentially fighting both sides of the same war, which I thought was kind of interesting. A little.
Spyro's playing both sides of this conflict for profit and gems.
Yeah, there's a little political spice in there for you.
Oh my.
Which also, that made me think about another thing. As you go throughout all the levels, none of the levels and the strife within the levels are said to be caused necessarily by Ripto. Because it seems like all of the enemies were already there, because the only people that came across were Ripto and his two minions. So...
Ripto is said to come like a week before also, and so some of these feel like they've been happening longer than a week.
Yeah. And so like, I just thought that was interesting, because in the first game, all the enemies were gems that had been turned into evil minions.
Yeah.
But in this game, they're just either citizens of that world or citizens of another world that are just at strife with each other. And there's not necessarily a direct Ripto involvement there. So
Spyro's the reason dragons are feared throughout the world, because all of a sudden this dragon got summoned to the world, torched nearly half the inhabitants, and then left.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to Dragon Tour.
Well, I will add, at one of the things I did like was, the variety, but I will say there's a lot less cohesion in Spyro 2. Spyro 1 was samey in a lot of parts, but it did feel like one pseudo-cohesive world with one kind of plot thread and conflict leading to the next. Spyro 2 feels like a series of unrelated vignettes. There's 2 human children in this world just for no reason at one point, and that's just a thing that happens and no one says anything, and then you just leave.
They're super secret spies.
Yeah, okay, yeah, sure. I'm just saying.
Terrorism.
I'm just saying, that strength can play as a little bit of a weakness sometimes.
Let me just say, going into the next game, remember those children.
I'm terrified.
They may or may not reappear.
I'm terrified.
So now we've talked about the game, had a glimpse at y'all's opinions. Let's pull back the curtain and unedited, unabridged version. Austin, let me have it. Did I pick a terrible game for us to play?
Finger snap, neck pop.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to be as graceful as I can, because
That's not what he asked for.
some positive traits about this game. I think when Spyro is doing just the level platforming, running through the world, trying to reach the end goal and dealing with all of the enemies, Spyro is at its greatest, and it's genuinely a really fun game. I do like the new mechanics. The ground slam is a fun way to destroy things or kill enemies. The enemy variety I thought was way improved compared to Spyro 1, so dealing with the different kind of encounters was really fun. I think my favorite enemy encounter is probably, they showed up on the a world that I liked and hated at the same time. It was I think the Scottish world, where every time you would have to free somebody, they would have to do this really long and obnoxious cutscene of them playing the little music thing.
Yes.
And then a little rock would blow up. That part was aggravating, but I liked the giant rock guys of that world, just shoving them into the lava, and they'll just do oh man, wave goodbye, and then die.
Yeah.
I love that. So the enemy types were really fun. I thought the water traversal would have been incredible if the control scheme was better. The inverted really took that positive away from me. And the little minigame orbs. When I was playing through it, my initial assumption was, okay, there's some optional collectible things that I can do here for minigames if I felt like I wanted to do a little extra challenge mode stuff. Sometimes I would do one. Like, typically I tried to do at least one per world, just to get one of them and just do a little variety, which was fine. And like, okay, these are fun little things if you really got into the game. The boss fights were decently fun, and one of them was actually challenging. I think the second one was the challenging one that actually killed me quite a few times. So, overall, really, really great. The moment the game dropped incredibly, in my opinion, was when I hit to the end. I'm like, cool, I'm just about the final boss. It's like, you need 27 more orbs in order to finish the final boss. And then that song's like, I have to go back and do all of these garbage mini games now, don't I? And I couldn't bring myself to finish them all after trying for a while. Like at least half of my playtime was trying to go back and get mini games. It ruined the experience of the game for me.
Oh man.
Real quick, it is interesting that it tricks you. I know Spyro 1 had some, like, you could get further than you needed to, but it kind of just shifted. Each new level just kind of had a different requirement, and so if you happen to be ignoring a specific thing, like, oops, you forgot eggs, oops, you forgot... By the end, you had to get it all, but, so, what's interesting about this is everything is orbs, and the orb requirements to get to each new level are radically low until the final level. Mm-hmm. It's like, you need 10 to get to World 2, you need 30 to get to World 3, you need 80 to enter the final boss. Yeah. So it does kind of lull you into a false sense of security of thinking, like, yeah, I'm on a pretty nice progression. Oops, you have to go back and, like, basically double, if you have been keeping to the minimums. Mm-hmm. You do have to, like, it kind of is a bit of a surprise that suddenly you thought you were at the end and you're, like, halfway through.
Yeah.
So sorry, you can keep going, Austin. I just wanted to point out that is an interesting thing.
Yeah, because the game was honestly a fairly enjoyable vibe. I would have ranked it above Spyro 1. It was decently good, but yeah, just getting hit by that wall of having to go back and do all... Because some of those minigames I just attempted on the world just to see of them, like the infamous, I know Dolan would probably...
Trouble with the trolley!
Yes, the trolley. That one was... That was pretty bad.
A lot of people refer to it as the trolley of terror.
I think I would agree with those people. But yeah, and there was other ones that I discussed. I got stuck for at least 35 minutes on one of the first levels. Well, not one of the first levels. Thinking it back, it was the bird, like the bombing bird mission.
Oh, with the stupid sheep?
It wasn't the sheep I was dealing with, it was the seeds. I had to plant seeds. I was stuck on
Romeo
that for 35 minutes, man.
Romeo!
Yes, Romeo and Juliet. Yeah. 35 minutes
you have a fun
I was
fact
stuck on
about
that
that?
one puzzle. It was infuriating.
That was a puzzle. I remember I really didn't struggle with them, but I mean, shocker, I've played this game probably 100 times. Mm-hmm. But something I noticed this time, specifically about that puzzle, in the Reignited, Juliet has a feminine voice.
Yes.
In the original, Juliet has like a southern man voice.
Yeah,
no.
I have a theory on that one, actually. So I think the original was trying to do a funny bit about Shakespeare, Shakespearean like actors where men would play the female parts. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of the joke. And then the transgender movement has become much more prevalent today, and they didn't want to catch flack for that, because I don't think it was supposed to be a sex change joke. I think it was supposed to be a male actors playing female actors joke, and they're like, in 2020 whatever, 2019, that's not gonna fly, dude. So they just scooted that out of the way.
I think you're probably right. I just thought that was something worth mentioning.
Yeah, the transgender explosion had not happened yet, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, the final thing I'll say is that the game was going great. I would have ranked it a 7.5 out of 10 until that requirement for the orb, and it dropped to a 3.5 out of 10.
To the heart!
It sucked me down.
Twisted!
I had the momentum, the vibe, and then I was shotgunned in the face.
Oh man.
Shot to the heart. and you're to blame. You give Spyro a bad name.
Oh man. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
I'm curious if you're gonna finish the next one. I'm just gonna say that.
If there's a lot more mandatory mini games, I'm getting it.
So
There are.
The Spyro games. I think if you had started it with the mindset of doing as many mini games as possible and it didn't sneak up on you, I'm curious if you would have had a different thought.
Well,
But a lot
I
of the
can
mini
talk
games
to.
can get tedious.
I can talk about that because I did try and do as many as I could stomach on the way up. I had a
Okay.
different experience. When I got to the end, I was only missing somewhere around 5 orbs.
Okay.
May have been 7. It was less than 10 for sure. I think it was more than 3. Somewhere around 5. So I didn't have nearly the kick that happened because I was trying to do as much as I could on the way.
Mm-hmm.
So I could dive into my thoughts here if that was a good transition.
Yeah, go for it.
Alright, so let's talk about that right quick. So, playing Spyro 1. I mentioned my first impressions. Scroll up a little bit more. Gotta talk about this because I had some second impressions I wrote down too, you know? So I was really digging it. I was really having fun. And then for me, there was an Achilles heel, and it wasn't the orbs because I was trying to do as much as I could in the first place. If I have one big Achilles heel problem with this game that hurts it, because in every way from the initial it's better than Spyro 1 in my opinion, and there's little bits and bobs you could complain about, but they're not a big deal. But this is the way it handles progression infuriates me, I won't lie, because I think the thing I had the most fun with Spyro 1 was just going through, exploring a level, done, it's cleared, I did it, yay, leap, even the flying levels. So it was, which I consider basically a mini game. I know they were different, but like, it's different controls. It feels very similar to a mini game. So I didn't even mind the mini games so much. Some individual ones might frustrate me, some might not. I think they add some variety. You could tweak and make some of them a little bit better, but I didn't have the same amount of problems Austin did with the mini games. I actually felt like I could handle most of them. The trolley one was frustrating. I struggled an odd amount with ice hockey. Was another one, if you could believe it. Anytime the ice hockey came up, it took me a couple tries, but it was a pretty smooth experience. But the thing that gets me is they're like, hey, we're gonna give you some cool new abilities. The first one they give you is swimming, and I was like, this is dope. It opens up so many new gameplay options. That's awesome. What a cool thing to do at the beginning. And then every flipping ability basically after that is not a real interesting traversal ability. It is a key to open an arbitrary door. If you've got the head smash, you can open the head smash doors. It's not like you can head smash and that leads to a new type of mobility. Like, it, unlike swimming, which does change up the gameplay and options and exploration, all the other ones feel like, here is arbitrary key. Fine enough, little bit of arbitrary upgrades happen sometimes. It's a more interesting way to make a key. But here's the thing. All the earlier levels have little head smash doors, and there's like nothing interesting behind them. There's like 10 gems or an orb sitting there. Not once did I go back to one of these, and I'm sure they maybe exist somewhere, but all the ones I went back to check out wasn't like, oh, this is a cool new area I get to explore, or this is a cool new challenge I get to do. And I know some have mini games, but like every time I do it, it was like, here's the orb, here's 10 gems, and I'm like, that wasn't worth. I could have done this the first time. It wasn't like the swimming where it's like, oh, I come back and there's a whole underwater area and explore a new end. No, it was just arbitrarily locking off the level, forcing me to come back, and that's why I didn't 100% this one like I did the first one. That really was the thing, that was the Achilles heel, because the thing that made Spyro 1 so fun was just the flow state I could get into, just running around, getting the stuff, even the mini games, just like I cleared out a thing, mission accomplished, little dopamine check, all the little check boxes, finish this level, check, done, happy sparkles in my brain, next level, check, sparkles. And this one makes me go, well, you can get 2 checks, but there's 5 not, and you can come back and play for 5 minutes and you don't get the checks. There's no dopamine. That's my big complaint. Dolan rant over there, but my feelings are not over, because I will say this. despite that really being a downer, I still think the core game is good. I think Spyro 1's better. We'll talk about that in a minute, I think. But I did not have Austin's experience with like a 3 out of 10. We'll do our final... Falcon, I'll say it. It's at least a 6 out of 10. Which isn't... I'm not doing... Like, that's a high good. Mm-hmm. I considered Spyro somewhere around a 7 or an 8. I don't know if I exactly... Probably... I don't know. It's hard to say. 7 or 8. This is just a little bit below it. Because the moment-to-moment gameplay is still better than Spyro 1. That little flutter, awesome. I didn't have the same problem with swimming, so I thought it was dope. But it is funny how, even though the moment-to-moment gameplay was better, the progression being a little bit quirky's not, I didn't like it as much. The progression being the way it was, where you couldn't 100% levels, and there was kind of, even though I avoided it, there were those giant spikes and requirements that were a little bit surprising. Because Mario 64, I feel like, handles that better, where it's like, you need 10, you need 30, you need 50, you need 70, or something like that. And so they're a little bit more evenly distributed, whereas this one felt like, oh, you're a little bit womp half the game. But that, all acknowledging all those difficulties, acknowledging all that, I had a good time. I would even play this again if I would. I had a fun time. But I will say, I don't feel, if I play Spyro 1 again, I'm 100%ing it. Mm-hmm. Like, that's just, I want to do it. That's fun. Spyro 2, give me a couple years or play it with my son or something. I'd play it again, but I'd probably would just kind of avoid some of the mini games I didn't like. I don't think I'd be really encouraged to go back at 100%. I'd just play it again and be like, that was a fun, good few hours. I didn't end up hating it. I didn't even dislike it. The bosses, as we mentioned before, excellent. Mm-hmm. The characters were endearing. There were just enough hiccups that made me like it a little bit less than 1. So that's kind of my overall thoughts on it.
Nice.
Yeah. Better than you expected, slightly.
Honestly, I was expecting... Yeah, that's better than I thought you were going to say.
What were you thinking? What did you think Austin was going to say? What did you think I was going to say?
Austin was about what I expected. I didn't expect him to say it went from a 7 to a 3. But I expected he was going to say, based on like the comments and messages I'd seen, I expected sub 5, likely between 1 and 3. That's better than what I thought you were going to say, though. I thought you were going to say like 4 or 5. I thought you were going to say better than Austin, but still less than half. So
I had a fun time. It was a good platformer. Yeah, I had fun. I probably don't like it as much as you, and I want to hear how much you like it, and maybe I don't have the nostalgia. But like, I'd be lying if I said I had a bad time. It was good.
Mm-hmm. Well, good.
Yeah. What about you? Tell us, nostalgia man.
So I really enjoyed it. I played through it twice because I played the original and the Reignited. And I mean, yeah, playing the original and then Reignited somewhat back to back. Some of the mini games did get a little tedious. I noticed some differences in mini games. Like I felt like specifically in I think it's the Mystic Marsh when you're chasing the kangaroos to get the spark plugs for the Safari Man's Jeep.
I do not remember that one. I'm sure I'll put up footage here, but I don't remember doing that.
It's so like it's the level where you have to restart the fountain. Do you remember that level?
I may have just skipped that level. Nope, may have skipped it.
Monkeys, rhinos, elephants. Ringing a bell?
Nope, don't think I did it.
I think I remember doing that one.
Okay.
Good. Austin's footage inserted here instead of mine.
Well, I don't think I did the mini game.
Oh, well, I'll find it on YouTube.
There's a mini game where this Safari Man says, "These guys are stealing my spark plugs." He's not Southern, but I can't do any other accent. And you have to chase them. And I thought in the original it was much easier to get them, while in the Reignited I had to do it a few more times. But I mean, overall, I enjoyed it. I really had a good time. Nostalgia is definitely strong with this one. Going between the original and Reignited, Reignited, I mean, it looks great. It's very smooth. But honestly, it kind of warmed my heart to play the original. Just kind of made me feel like a kid again. Just kind of sent you back. But I just remembered I forgot to mention a fun fact about the Misty Marsh level.
Yeah.
So in the fountain that you restart, if you look very closely, the face on the coins is the face of Insomniac employee Dan Johnson.
Who is...
He is an Insomniac employee who also worked on Ratchet and Clank, and his face is also on a coin in Ratchet and Clank.
He's feeling very monetarily important.
Yeah. He's apparently famous for his in-game cameos, so I guess he does it in more than just those two. But
it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean,
what's your out of 10?
Out of 10.
And
I think now.
Well, I guess we could also wait. I'm sorry, I'm spoiling. You have it later. We could save it for the final ranking, or we could say it now.
Yeah, I'll save mine for the final ranking.
Okay. Yeah.
Before we get to the rankings, one other thing I had in my notes that I wanted to get from you guys, and we've kind of touched on a few already, either an extremely memorable level for positive or negative, or if you have both.
Yeah.
Or let's do extremely memorable level and an extremely memorable minigame that you played, either for positive or negative reasons. But I'd be curious if the level and minigame are different, or if you had one specific level that you liked everything about it. Let's go, Dolan.
Yeah. So this is a little bit weird because, like, first off, I only played this one once instead of twice, like the first game. So, I somehow finished this before y'all. Like by a couple weeks actually. So it's a little bit more faded in my brain than when we recorded the first one, because we originally going to record this earlier. So I got to the original deadline, and we waited a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So the other problem is just the way memory in general works. Is how do I say this? I have to just be honest. Like, I still feel like I'm being meaner than I mean to be, because I had a good time, but the parts that were good didn't stand out as like, whoa, this is excellent. It's like, I'm having fun. Like, if this is the neutral meter, like, and this is good and this is bad, I'm doing a never mind. Visualization on audio podcast. What am I doing? It was slightly above neutral, but it was like that most of the time. But the bad was not slightly bad, it was like very bad. But there was a lot less of it. Still ended on mostly fun. But all that to say, the bad parts stuck out of my brain a lot more than the good parts. So I'm like, I'm having a hard time remembering a minigame or level that I was like, I really love this. Even though if you took me to probably 70% of them, I'd be like, yeah, that was fun. That was fun. That was fun. But I can remember the things I hated. Well, okay. Because the other thing I'll say is, like, the parts that were the best, I'm not trying to knock the minigames, because I didn't hate them, but like a lot of the minigames that were the best were the ones that didn't feel like minigames. It's like, get to this place, which is like a platforming challenge, which is like what Spyro is, or kill these 7 guys, which involves scouring the level for stuff, exploration, which is what Spyro is. And technically those were minigames to get orbs, but like, it just felt like I was playing Spyro. It didn't feel like a minigame. Whereas the parts that felt like minigames are the stupid trolley that we talked about. That felt like a minigame. I didn't like that. Or, I'm trying to remember, this is another one. Oh, friggin' the Romeo and Juliet one. You know what I found out when I went back to that level, because that was one of the orbs I went back to? I was like, this sheep friggin' puzzle is the flip-flappin' worst. I hate it. It takes me like 10 minutes to get through it. What the heck? And then I went back, because I got it. I got the 5 sheep in. And then, like, find 7 sheep. I was like, falk this. I'm out of here. And then I went back, and I was like, okay, I gotta go get another orb. Might as well. And it was at the revisit that I realized that I had gotten the 3 closest sheep, easy. And then there's 2 sheep that are a medium distance away, not very far, that are pretty easy to get. That's how you get the 5 first ones. I had ignored the 2 medium sheep and had run all the way to the hard sheep and made those my second two for the easy version of the quest. So I did the hard version of the quest already, and accidentally skipped the easy portion, and then I had to go back and go do the hard quest again, and then and I was like, oh, cool, I just did the hard version twice on accident, basically. Because there's those 2 sheep that are, like, on the other side of the level that you have to, like, get all the way through. Yeah. And those were 2 of the 5 sheep I got, and then there were 2 of the 7 sheep. So, at the risk of just trying to make up an opinion, a lot of the supercharged stuff I liked a lot more this time. There is that satyr level, which Austin cracked me up, because he's like, I have to listen to their song every time. I thought it was funny, and every time because every time you free a satyr, you have to, like, listen to their entire song, which is only, like, 10 seconds, but it happens, like, 7 or 8 times, so it's really funny, and this is probably not a good-spirited thing in me, but every time, I think even before Austin got to it, every time I had to listen to it, I was like, Austin is gonna lose his crap when he has to hear this, like, 8 times in a row, and so every time it happened to me, I just started chuckling, thinking about Austin having to sit here in this unskippable cutscene. But to get to those satyrs, you have to do supercharge mission. Doom, doom, doom. And I thought they were a lot more fun than the ones in 1. Because there was kind of less bullcrap. It was a little bit more intuitive. There was less, like, doing a 360 mid-air, making a blind leap of faith, and flying up a wall to get to the final thing. It was more like, just make these tight jumps well. And, yeah. And then the UFO. That was the last one I'll say that stuck out to me. Off the top of my head, was a fun mini-game. The levels, I like the satyr level, probably because it had a lot of dashing. I thought that was fun. And then, to invent one more opinion, the Shady Oasis. I didn't have a minigame I loved there. I just liked the aesthetic of the hippos and kind of this Zen garden. It stuck out to me. Like, I can actually vividly remember that level, and I could vividly remember Ian Flynn talking about his story Drogoon, because it stuck out in my head. I was listening to that podcast as I was playing it, like, and it stuck out in my head as a thing that I liked. So, there's my ramble. I felt like I had to make up some opinions, but, like, there's just a lot of nice. And I liked it. Yeah.
I love it. Glad to hear it. What do you think, Austin?
I'm just gonna be rehashing stuff I covered earlier, because the stuff that are the most memorable in minigame and levels, I covered in my rant. I'm trying to think if there was any other. Good? Well, now I'm in the same boat as you. It's hard to, like, sit there and be like, this one was super good. I mean, I guess the highest highs of it were probably some of the boss fights. Like, I think the boss fights
were good.
Yeah.
I know you don't have this in a mission, Austin, and I'm taking over a second, but, like, Austin, would you mind talking to us about the boss fights? Because we haven't really explained why they're so much better than the first one.
Okay, so memory is hazy on the first one, but it wasn't. I don't remember it being super complex on the first one, but I remember it's like, oh, cool, I don't just run up and torch this guy. I have to, like, watch for certain. I have to wait for the opportunities and openings in order to hit him and stuff like that. But it's the second one that actually started kicking my butt that I remember the most, and it was pretty good, about the multiple different ways you can hurt him based on what the environment is doing at that time and what attacks he's trying to do at you. Like, birds will come in, drop stuff, and, like, you either pick up a bomb and shoot it at him, or you headbutt a barrel at him, or you lead him into a trap. There was a lot of different ways you just try to damage that guy, and it didn't end very quickly. It's like, this actually feels like a coherent boss fight, actually utilizing mechanics I would not expect for a platforming game. So that would probably be the memorable high stuff. And I just hate the mini games. I don't think there is a mini game that I necessarily really enjoyed. The closest might be the ice hockey, funny enough. I was fairly good at the ice hockey. Of course, I think that was also the first mini game, and I'm like, oh, that's cute. And they moved on. In terms of bad levels, the only level that I did not like and that I would never wanted to go back into was the water one, where you have to keep restoring the water for the water people, because it was just all swimming, and I hated the swimming mechanic. That was the only bad level. When it came to just running through the levels, platforming, making to the end, getting the talismans, pretty much every level except that one were great levels.
Good.
The first boss was Crush. He's kind of like a weird little dragon dude with a club, and he has, like, a shield, I think, that you have to, like, get around. He like has a shield up, and then he does a big jump, and I think you have to like dodge shockwaves and then hit him at opportune times. But yeah.
Yeah, that's. I appreciate you talking about some things that you liked, Austin.
Well, that's the problem. Like, I hate ranking the game so low, but it's because the game was really, really fun most of the game until I got shotgunned in the face by the minigame. That's the only reason I don't like the overall game. Because it was genuinely really fun and I was having a great time. And I felt like the game gave me the big middle finger right when I got to the end. And it frustrated me.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry about that.
It's okay. It's a game.
That's what the podcast is for, too. We're gonna hit games we don't like. Wait till I make y'all play RPGs. It's gonna be a good time.
Here we go. Moving on.
Well, what? Did you have a memorable level or a minigame?
I did. I had a few. So one kind of mini game, kind of just kind of going throughout the level. That always sticks out in my mind is on Skelos Badlands. You have to go and take out
The
I think
eggs.
it's not the eggs. The fire toads that stole the bones.
Oh yeah, you gotta like do the first-person aiming thing.
Yeah, you gotta aim and like spit the fire rock at the fire toad to get the bones.
Oh, wait a minute. Is this the stupid skeleton guy?
Yeah. I've always liked that one. That's
Even though he flosses?
so he flosses in Reignited. He does so much more in the original, and the music's better. That they play when he
Downgrade.
dances. There is a downgrade because like he basically just flosses in place, and there's like more modern music in the Reignited. But in the original, it's like this funky music. He does backflips for a whole circle around you, and then he starts like doing like I don't know what this dance move is, but pointing
Like disco.
Yeah, like disco dancing. I love it.
Oh my god.
That part I always loved as a kid, and I still love today. That one, that's a good one. A minigame that I have never liked is escorting the alchemist to Hunter.
Oh, I forgot about that!
Was that the one with the like the big rock giants on the Irish world?
Yes.
Yes.
That's funny that you hate. That was one of the easiest ones for me.
Yeah, I watched you, Austin.
Yeah,
I
you had
watched you do
such
that.
an
You had like
easy time
no
doing it.
problem.
I'm just like bonk, 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 bonk.
Infuriating.
Bonk,
I got
bonk,
so
He
frustrated.
sailed
There.
through that.
Oh
Oh.
man.
That's funny.
Yeah, that one was a frustrating one. Another mini game that I liked is Turtle Soup. Did either of you guys play that one?
No, I don't remember that one.
So it's on the level where you have to escort the turtle babies. And
How did I miss turtle babies? I love turtles.
yeah, it's the level where with the turtles, and you have to take them through the water and flame the big turtles so that they step on the buttons to open the gates.
Oh, okay.
I do remember that level, but I don't remember turtle babies.
That's who you were escorting. The whole level was 3 turtle babies.
I don't remember escorting either.
Huh.
You're not really escorting because the enemies don't go after them. They just walk past the enemies. You just have to open the gate, and then the 3 they run through the level. Oh well. At the very end of that level, on the right, there's a ladder, and if you go up, there's this giant like penguin-looking guy who's dressed like a chef, and he's got like a Cajun accent, and he's like, "Yeah, down by the bayou, I'm here to cook up some turtle soup. If you can save the turtles, then I'm not gonna get to eat them." And if you jump out there into the little platform, the turtles, he'll like ring the bell, and the turtles will just like walk towards the pot and jump into the bowl of soup. And you have to flame or headbutt the turtles to knock them out into the water so that they can swim away. That's a memorable level.
Can't believe I did not save turtle babies. I feel like I need to go back and do that now.
You do. That guy's making turtle soup because you didn't do it.
Yum yum.
I like turtles.
Yeah.
As long as I get a
do
cup.
Oh.
So yeah, that's a few of the levels that stood out to me. I appreciate you guys playing this game with me, even though
I had
I
fun.
tried.
Let's hit our ranks and then we'll talk about the next one.
Yeah.
You guys have both kind of already given number rankings, but let's do a letter this time.
Yeah, and we got to give the original too. You got to see where that is and if that's changed.
Yes. I'm happy to go first. The original, I'm trying to remember what I ranked it at last time.
But it's what you rank it now that matters.
I think right now I would rank this as a B plus and the original as a B minus.
Okay. Slight upgrade for you.
Yeah.
Is it just because of the things we talked about, where kind of the little gameplay tweaks, the variety, that kind of stuff really hits? Or do you feel like it's more nostalgia?
I definitely feel like a large portion of it is nostalgia, but there is, like, playing through the two games, there is distinctly more that was put into just adding variety into this game.
For sure.
So, yeah.
Okay.
What about you, Austin?
So, if I'm doing letter grades, Spyro 1, I think, is a C+, slightly above average. It was decent experience enough. And I would probably give this one a D+.
Is that our first D on the show?
I think that's the first D on the
Yep.
show.
Because you ranked Resident Evil a C minus, I think, right? Which was the other lowest game, Resident Evil 1, I think originally. I think that's the lowest we've gone so far. So
I
that's.
think so.
Oh man. Oh, your childhood. Of course, it isn't your childhood favorite necessarily, but all right.
I'm wondering
It's a
what the
dark
first
day
F
on the
game will be.
podcast.
At first F game is gonna be wild. I'm gonna be here for that.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a game I pick. I'm positive. So I would say Spyro 1, especially after marinating on a little bit. It's a B. I don't even think I'd say minus. I don't think that's true. Maybe not a B plus, just a B. But like, it's good. It's good. I would not mind having to play it again. Spyro 2. I'm really torn on it being a C plus or a B minus. Because I'll be controversial and say C plus. I'll put them on technically different, but like honestly, by the next episode, I might change my mind. It's razor's edge on where I feel on it, but I feel like C plus makes it sound worse than I think it is, but if it's a 6 out of 10, I don't think it's a 7 out of 10. I think it's 6 out of 10, which I guess is a C, a high C. So, locking in. So, yeah.
Nice.
That's me. I guess I'm the last one. Sorry.
No, I appreciate you guys being willing to play this game, even though it was not your favorite, and I respect your decisions. Yeah. So
He's just loading the shotgun.
so Spyro.
Whether he's killing us or himself, we don't know, but someone's gonna die.
Yeah. So the next Spyro game, Spyro Year of the Dragon, this one does have some slight differences. Just you're going to encounter some new faces, some new playable characters.
Military penguin.
Heck yeah.
And one character, which I'll save for a fun fact later, was originally going to have their own spin-off game afterwards. But
It's got to be Hunter.
no, one of the new characters.
Oh, okay.
Um,
All right. Yeah.
so we'll talk about that next time. But I'm hopeful, based on what I've heard and what I remember. I don't think the third is as hardcore of get to this point, now you have to go back and do all the levels again. There will be some backtracking, but kind of related to what Dolan said, and what he wished there was. It's more of backtracking, and there's like a whole new area. So I'm hopeful that we all have more positive reviews next time.
I will go in optimistic.
I know what my hopes are for Spyro 3. And that's that the Tony Hawk Pro Skater Spyro section wins over Austin so much that he gives it an A. He's like...
If it sparks the memories of me playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater on my Sega Dreamcast, it has a good chance.
I'm just saying, Tony Hawk Spyro is a thing that happens in Spyro 3, and my hope is that, he's like, yeah, I don't know, the rest of the game's fine, but he spends 5 hours just playing Spyro Tony Hawk.
Doesn't even finish the game, just plays
Gives it an A anyway.
Hey, that may even put it in S tier for you. Who knows?
I don't think there is an S.
We didn't have an
S.
S.
Wait, no, S's don't exist. We only have an A.
Well,
I'll make it exist.
You may add an S tier just for the...
Wait a minute!
Just
well,
for
then Resident Evil 3 would have got
S
in it.
for Spyro.
S for Spyro.
Oh, man. That's hilarious.
So, Austin, did you already say your hopes for the next one?
My hopes is that it keeps up the interesting normal level design in enemy variety, because that's what I enjoy most about the Spyro games, and the hope that there is a lot less emphasis on optional mini games in order to progress.
Oh, nice. We'll see. We'll see if your hopes become a reality. Well,
Nice.
Thank you everyone for listening. And I know I've said it already, but thank you guys for playing this with me. I've had a great time talking about it with you. And
Me too.
I'm genuinely looking forward to the next one. And I am hopeful, based on at least my memory, that you both enjoy it more.
Yeah.
So, signing off, I'm Christian.
I'm Austin.
I'm Dolan.
And we are the Gameboys, and we hope you have a great night, or day, or morning, whenever you're listening.
In 2026.
Tell us for the metrics so that I know 2020. Tell me so I can change the metrics. Someone listen to this, please.
Yeah.